Most people believe that if they just stop eating, the weight will melt away. You skip meals, you push through hunger, you drink black coffee, and you wait for the scale to drop. But somehow it doesn't move. You're fasting, yet your body seems stuck, refusing to burn fat the way it should. The problem isn't that fasting doesn't work. It's that your body isn't responding the way you think it should. Decades of calorie counting and constant eating have conditioned your metabolism to hold on to energy instead of releasing it. Your hormones, especially insulin, play a far bigger role in fat storage than most people realize. Weight loss resistance during fasting is driven by hormonal imbalance, not lack of discipline or calorie restriction. Most people assume that when the body is not receiving calories, it must naturally turn to stored fat for energy. But the human body is not a simple machine that burns calories in, calories out. It is a complex hormonal system designed for survival. When fasting doesn't lead to the expected weight loss, it's not a failure of effort or willpower. It's a signal that your hormones are still working against you. The body's metabolism, appetite, and fat storage are controlled by hormones, not by sheer determination or mathematical calorie counts. The main hormone that decides whether you store or burn fat is insulin. When insulin levels are high, fat cells are locked. Your body cannot access stored fat for energy, even during fasting. If insulin remains elevated due to long-term metabolic damage, your body stays in fat storage mode instead of fat-burning mode. Many people fast but unknowingly trigger insulin spikes through small amount of sugar, refined carbs, or frequent snacking during eating windows. The result is a hormonal state that prevents the body from shifting into full fat-burning mode. Fasting is meant to lower insulin and allow fat stores to open up. However, chronic stress, poor sleep, and certain medications can keep insulin and cortisol high, sending mixed signals to the body. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can increase blood glucose even without food intake, which in turn pushes insulin higher. When insulin remains high, weight loss stalls no matter how strictly you fast. That's why some people can fast for days and still not see any change on the scale. Their body chemistry is still signaling store fat rather than burn fat. Hormonal imbalance doesn't come from one day of poor choices. It develops over years of constant eating, excessive snacking, and processed food consumption. Modern eating habits encourage grazing all day long. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, dessert, which keeps insulin constantly elevated. Your body never gets a chance to rest, recover, or access stored energy. Fasting aims to reverse this by restoring the natural rhythm of hormonal cycles, giving insulin time to drop and fat cells permission to release their stored energy. Another key factor is insulin resistance. When cells stop responding properly to insulin, the body compensates by producing even more insulin. This creates a vicious cycle. High insulin leads to fat storage, and more stored fat worsens insulin resistance. Fasting can help break this cycle, but if insulin resistance is severe, the process takes longer than expected. The body needs time to relearn how to respond to lower insulin levels. Early in fasting, your body may focus on balancing hormones rather than shedding pounds. You might feel more energetic, have better focus, or notice reduced cravings before the scale starts to change. These are signs that your hormones are beginning to realign. Leptin is another hormone deeply tied to weight loss resistance. Produced by fat cells, leptin tells your brain how much energy you have stored. In a healthy system, higher fat stores should signal the body to eat less and burn more. But with leptin resistance, the brain never receives the enough energy message, leading to constant hunger and a slower metabolism. Even during fasting, if leptin signaling is impaired, your body can cling to fat as if it's preparing for famine. Repairing leptin sensitivity takes time, consistency, and proper fasting habits combined with nutrient-dense meals when you do eat. Thyroid hormones also play an important role in how efficiently you burn calories. When the body senses stress, whether physical, emotional, or due to over-restriction, it can reduce thyroid hormone production to conserve energy. This slows metabolism and makes fat loss even harder. This is another reason why fasting alone isn't always enough. It must be balanced with adequate nutrition, rest, and recovery to avoid signaling the body to slow down. The gut also influences hormones. An unhealthy gut microbiome can worsen insulin resistance, elevate inflammation, and disturb hunger signals. Fasting helps by giving the digestive system a break, allowing gut bacteria to rebalance. But the gut remains inflamed or dominated by harmful bacteria. Hormonal correction becomes difficult. Supporting gut health with fiber, fermented foods, and hydration during eating windows enhances the effects of fasting and encourages hormonal harmony. Ultimately, sustainable fat loss through fasting is about restoring metabolic flexibility, the body's ability to switch between burning glucose and fat efficiently. When hormones are balanced, fasting becomes a powerful healing tool. When they're not, the body resists every attempt to lose weight. The solution lies not in stricter fasting schedules or more willpower, but in addressing the root hormonal issues that block fat burning. Once insulin, leptin, cortisol, and thyroid hormones start working together in balance, the body naturally shifts back into fat-burning mode, and weight loss begins to follow effortlessly.